Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Listen, Deontay Wilder is going to be returning to the ring. The thing is, right now we don't know if Deontay Wilder is going to have a fight before the summer and then go into a fight later this year. At the same time, we don't know if Anthony Joshue is going to have a fight this summer and then go to a fight at the end of this year. Now, what we do understand is reportedly the fight at the end of the year for Wilder and AJ is supposed to be Wilder versus AJ and a fantasy matchup that's being orchestrated by the Prince Khalid, with Sports Challenge Promotions out there in Saudi Arabia. Now, what we understand is he does not want Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshue to fight before the end of the year because of the kind of money he's going to pay them and the extravaganza of an event that he plans on putting on. So he doesn't want to risk someone getting injured, losing. He just doesn't want to risk that. All of that being said, I've got to say this right. And I say this respectfully and in the most respectful way that I kindly request to Eddie Hearn and any other boxing fans out there that you'll hold your horses and don't take it to the stupid. Eddie Hearn's out here talking about how Anthony Joshue is going to box Deontay Wilder's ears off. What? Anthony Joshua, man? Let me tell y'all something. Everyone who knows when I talk about Anthony Joshua, I'm going to remain consistent. He is probably the most athletic. When you're talking about a complete boxer as a heavyweight, Anthony Joshua probably has the most athleticism. He probably has the highest skill set. He probably has one-punch knockout power like Deontay Wilder. And he has everything you want in a heavyweight fighter, except for something that's going on upstairs. Now, Anthony Joshua, before Andy Ruiz, I definitely give that Anthony Joshua a chance to outbox Wilder and to knock him out. Don't get me wrong now. We all know, no matter if Wilder and AJ had fought years ago or if they fight this year, you just know at some point Wilder is going to touch his opponent. And when he touches him, the fight changes or it ends. But at the same time, if Anthony Joshua or any other fighter who has one-punch knockout power too, if they can jump on Deontay Wilder, they can get him out of there. But there's so many risks associated. So, continuing on, this version of Anthony Joshua is not the version that we were just talking about. The whole aggressive Anthony Joshua, the guy who's coming in there, if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. My whole thing is to not let the fight go the distance. Listen, people. Those days are over. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm holding out. I was holding out and reserving judgment on the pairing between Derrick James and Anthony Joshua. We saw Anthony Joshua come out with Jermaine Franklin, and he got the win, which is the most important thing. But he looked less than stellar. He was getting countered. He was getting hit with shots. But we understand styles make fights. Deontay Wilder is not necessarily the slick counterpuncher who throws punches in combinations, That's not really his style. But the problem with a guy like Anthony Joshua now, even if he's attempting to outbox Deontay Wilder, like Eddie Hearn is saying Anthony Joshua is going to do when they meet at the end of the year, what I'm going to tell you is Anthony Joshua no longer throws hard shots. He's not turning into his shots. He's throwing more arm punches, and that's just a recipe for disaster. Now, can he still hurt Wilder with those arm punches? Yeah, Anthony Joshua has freakish power. So if he hits him, he'll get Wilder's attention. Will he knock him out cold with those arm punches? I doubt it. But can he make Deontay Wilder a little bit miserable? No doubt about that. But we got to be real with ourselves. Had Anthony Joshua had another fight before the end of the year, right, which I'm hoping all four of them do, Wilder, Usyk, Fury, AJ. I would hope they all get a fight sometime around the summer to kind of knock those inactivity barnacles off of them, so they'll be ready for the end of the year. But hey, if the Prince are going to pay them guys $100 million a piece, yep, why get in the ring in the summer? You know what I mean? But if Joshua had another fight and we had an opportunity to see him fight again underneath Derek James, and not just against a Dillian White. Dillian White, look, his time is over. You know what I'm saying? His shelf life expired. They need to go ahead and sit him aside and old Derek Chisora, man, and retire their trunks. You know what I'm saying? Get them out of boxing. But I would have liked to see AJ and how he performs going into a second outing with Derek James as his trainer. Now, in that outing, if we get an opportunity to see it before the end of the year fight with Wilder, right? Then I wouldn't reserve judgment. I would come out and speak emphatically on the direction I think that relationship between James and AJ is going and the direction I think he's going to take him. Right now, I'm not sure. And I'm not saying I have the best eye when it comes to observing a fighter's performance in the ring and really catching all the little nuances and the things that they're doing that are different from what they were doing before. And to be quite frank with you, what I saw with Anthony Joshua, I think the main contrast is that he looked a bit more relaxed in the corner. He looked like he was trying to catch it, really trying to breathe and catch his breath in between the rounds. And maybe that's what the trainer, because I'm no trainer. Excuse me, right? Maybe that's what the trainer felt was the most important thing for a guy like AJ is being able to fight at a controlled pace that he dictates from the first second of the first round to the last second of the last round, and box intelligently and be defensively responsible. And if AJ happens to get his opponent hurt, or there's an opportunity to tranquilize him, then for Anthony Joshua to do it, but at the same time maintaining discipline and responsibility. Because we know with Anthony Joshua, if he lets go anything more than a three-punch combination, he develops low energy. So that being said, going into the fight the end of this year against Wilder, I'm just not sure AJ being out the ring for basically, for like what, 9 months or so. I'm just not sure that's a good thing. And, being fair, I'll tell you right now, I don't think that's a good thing for Deontay Wilder either. Because you have all these things they're working on in sparring. And I don't even know what to think anymore about Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. You see Anthony Joshua making these changes, new trainer, he's just trying to be responsible, disciplined, control the pace, not get tired, not get knocked out. He's battling with himself. Then you got Deontay Wilder. You got Malik Scott. Deontay Wilder can beat Tyson Fury in the fourth fight. Deontay Wilder, he's the two-time champion. He's trying to speak it into existence. Got Deontay Wilder using lateral movement, jabbing to the body, throwing the 1-2, throwing the 1-2, bring back the two halfway, then shooting it again, teaching him a swivel jab. working on pivots, inside fighting. Let me tell you something. It's like being hungry. If you're hungry, right? Like you've gone with like 8 hours without eating, you starving. You get a little sandwich put in front of you, right? You can reach a state of satiety with just a little simple sandwich. And then you're good to go. And if you eat just that sandwich to satisfy you, right, to get the desired result, you can probably go on the rest of your day and be pretty damn productive. However, if you've gone 8 hours without eating, and now you see that, okay, I got enough bread here and luncheon meat here and cheese and mayonnaise, honey mustard, lettuce, tomato, onion. I got enough to make 6 sandwiches. And you make 6 sandwiches and you eat them. Well, you can reach a state of satiety, but you can go beyond that state of satiety and overeat, and now you can't go on the rest of the day and be productive because you ate 6 goddamn turkey sandwiches, and now you got the itis. So basically, I say that to say this. Too much of anything is not good. We shouldn't be forcing things. When it comes to Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott is just so happy to be taking his years of boxing knowledge and having a guy like Deontay Wilder who wants to be a sponge, and it just so happens to be the guy who he's in a bromance with. And I think that the motivation is outstanding. But I just, part of me feels like it's too much. Too much, man. I just think with Deontay Wilder, that's truly a fighter where you just remind him of some things, brush up on a couple of things. Let me tell you something. Deontay Wilder and Manny Pacquiao, very similar situation. Pacquiao came over, the big left hand, decent footwork, no right hand. Freddie Roach fixed that. Deontay Wilder, he needs to work on his footwork, no doubt. Got the big right hand, but he need to really work on that left hand. Jab, hook, and giving people something else to worry about. Because if Deontay Wilder was to fight a guy like Usyk or a Jaleel Zhang, you got to take a look at what happened when he fought Luis Ortiz, one of those southpaws that knew how to nullify the right hand and who was slick. And I just think if Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott really haven't put a sound focus on developing that left hand the way he needs it, especially if in the second part of his career, and if the goal is to get in there and fight Fury a 4th time and clip him, they're definitely going to have to use that left hand a lot more, and they're going to have to make sure that left hand is threatening. You understand? Everyone knows about the right hand. But if they can bring that left hand along, I think Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott have something. But the whole thing about floating like a butterfly, the whole thing about trying to throw a jab to the body and reaching, man got like Deontay Wilder have like a 100-inch reach. This man reaching from all the way across the ring to throw that jab. When he does it, he extends that arm all the way up, and that chin is wide open. And I just see him getting countered by AJ if he comes in there doing that. He's going to have to, pick and choose and time things and know just when to throw those shots. Watch AJ's feet when he's on the move. AJ's a big boy. He can't fire while he's moving. You know how hard it is to punch while you're moving? Usyk can do it. Lomachenko can do it. Haney can do it. But there aren't many fighters who can punch while they're moving. Anthony Joshue can't do that. So with Deontay Wilder, it's about just having that awareness and that timing to pay attention to Anthony Joshua and his rhythm and the habits that he has and timing. And that's when you want to throw that jab to the body, when he's moving, because Anthony Joshua is doing a lot more boxing and he's going to be moving more than probably what we were accustomed to seeing in the past. And if Anthony Joshua gets in there with Wilder, I just don't think he's going to try to walk him down. I think Derek James is going to have him being very mindful of that right hand. And AJ is going to be kind of end up trying to float like a butterfly. And that's going to give Wilder a lot of opportunities. However, AJ could shock us being out there with Derek James. Derek James, like Emmanuel Stewart, he likes knockouts. So you may just tell him going out there and jump on him. Hey, roll the dice, try to catch him cold. You know, Deontay Wilder has issues with fatiguing as well. So you can see 2 6'7" giants kind of falling all over the damn ring because they're both fatigued. But that being said, I just don't think Anthony Joshue is going to box Deontay Wilder's ears off. And the reason I say that is he was able to outbox Jermaine Franklin. And you know why, right? It's everything to do with size, man. Anthony Joshue has like 100-inch reach. Him and Deontay Wilder, you know, they're not going to be able to get away with that, outboxing each other. When they throw shots, they can connect, they can land. Same thing when Wilder fought Dominic Breazeale. Breazeale was able to get to him because they have a similar reach. When Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury, he learned quickly, like, holy shit, this man can hit me. When he fought Gerald Washington, he was getting hit. When he fought Breazeale, he got hit. Y'all probably don't remember that, but he got hit. So when they're fighting someone of equal stature, that's where they run into problems. So for Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn to even suggest Anthony Joshua is going to outbox Deontay Wilder, box his ears off, I don't see that happening. If Anthony Joshua's in there trying to make it a tickling contest, I think Deontay Wilder tranquilizes him. No, and I'm just being honest with you. You know, I like Wilder, I like AJ. I'm rooting for AJ, man. But at the same time, we gotta frame this argument the right way. It takes a lot more than just trying to outbox Deontay Wilder to get a win over him. You know, Tyson Fury. You know, some people still say, "Oh, Tyson Fury was the only elite fighter Deontay Wilder fought," and look what happened. You know, I don't see it that way. But even if I was to say, okay, you're right, which I don't think people are right when they say that, I'm not going to get it coming here and rattle off all the names that I think were more than worthy opponents who were probably more of that B plus, A minus level. I'm not going to get into that. But what I will say is for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and those 3 fights he had with Tyson Fury, without me getting all into it, I'm not sold on those Fury wins, and I have my reasons for feeling that way. But for this conversation, I'm going to say, look, Fury won those 3 fights. He had to draw the first one, but you know it is what it is. The second and third. But you just don't know if a guy like Wilder is getting to a 4th fight with Fury. Because I think he beats AJ. I think Fury beats Usyk. And if Wilder and Fury end up fighting, you just don't know what the outcome is going to be. Because I'm going to tell you this, right? I think the question is Deontay Wilder and his team, pardon me, right? Is Deontay Wilder and his team, are they vigilant enough, smart enough, and are they outspoken enough to go into a 4th fight with Fury and make sure all T's are crossed, all I's are dotted, check and balances are in place to make sure there's no foul play at all, or no possibility, at least with what they have control over, for there to be any feelings that cheating was taking place. Because if you listen to Deontay Wilder, for that first fight, he feels a kind of way. And even I had to put a hairy ball on that first fight. That second fight, he feels a kind of way. Even I got to put a hairy ball on that second fight. The third fight, he feels a kind of way. And even I got to put a hairy eyeball on that fight. Fourth fight, look, tired of the hairy eyeball, tired of the suspicions, and tired of Deontay Wilder talking in code. He's gone on record, all right? And I'm not going to find the video and post it for nobody. Go and look it up, man. When he was in Saudi Arabia, and there was an interview done while he was in Saudi Arabia, I think he was in a hotel room. And since then, Deontay Wilder has done another video where he's saying he can't divulge the people who are telling him, but there are people in, key decision makers, right, in boxing who are telling him that they know Tyson Fury cheated. He's even gone on record before. Remember, he said there was no proof. Now he's saying that there may be there's some proof out there, but he ain't going into all that. But at the same time, when we start digging into that Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury conversation, people say, "Why didn't you sue? Why don't you press charges? Why don't you this? Why don't you that?" And Deontay Wilder's answer was, "I'm not going to F up my money." Now, I'll let you mull over that. But what I will tell you is, in my opinion, how can you prepare for and be confident and be focused if you're Deontay Wilder going into a fight with Tyson Fury, knowing that this man, hit that like button, right? Knowing that this man, deep down, you feel this man cheated you. How can you stay focused to go into a fight with a guy like Tyson Fury? That's all I'm saying. And I don't care what Malik Scott tries to tell him. You can't leave your mind behind. And I just think for Deontay Wilder, if that's still plaguing him and those are still concerns, I think the first time he gets hit clean and he feels a little uneasy in there, I just think it could be all downhill for him. So I'm against a fourth fight against Tyson Fury. But I do think with the way the Skills Challenge Promotions, right, the way they're orchestrating this huge heavyweight kind of a round robin event, I think Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are going to be the last two standing. And from there, we'll see what happens. But that being said, first thing first is Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshue have to mix it up. And I'm just telling you right now, in my opinion, this Anthony Joshue that's running around here, that's not it for getting in the ring with Deontay Wilder. Like, that's just not going to get the job done. And I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm just being honest with you. It's going to take a little bit more than the Anthony Joshua that fought Franklin. The Anthony Joshua that fought Usyk in those two fights. He's going to have to be a guy who just kind of goes balls to the wall and lets his hands go. Because I'll tell you what, if Anthony Joshua comes out there with that chip on the shoulder, that mean Anthony Joshua, and he gets in the ring with Deontay Wilder, then it becomes truly a who lands first. I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, it's not who lands first. If Deontay Wilder lands, it's over. If Anthony Joshua lands, well, Deontay Wilder can make it to the end of the round, he's good. But if Anthony Joshua comes in there with that chip on the shoulder, the AJ with the gap in his teeth, then this fight is a 50-50 fight. But that being said, y'all leave your comments below. But I definitely disagree with Eddie Hearn. Joshua not boxing no damn Deontay Wilder's ears off. All right? So hold your horses. Y'all know the rest. I'm in the breeze.